everyone, thanks for watching. So I'm going to start off first by priming my face. I'm using the Benefit Porefessional, and then I'm going in with the Paradise paint from Mehron, just a white face paint, and my lightest foundation, the Too Faced Born This Way in Swan. And I'm just going to buff that in all over my face, just trying to get a very light, like not all the way clown white, but just a very like light base. And I'm using my Real Techniques beauty sponge to blend and buff all of this into the skin. Next, I'm going in with the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in scent to Sangre and just a slanted eyebrow brush, and I'm going in and drawing in my brows. When I was first filling them in with this color, I wasn't really feeling it. It was kind of more of like a pinky toned red, and I wanted more of like a true like deep red color to go with the wig that I'm going to put on eventually. So you'll see in a second that I go over this with the NYX Liquid Suede liquid lipstick in Kitten Heels. But I'm basically just filling this in right now, going lighter at the very front of my brows like I normally do, and just kind of feathering it all in so it does look like a normal brush hair, and spooling that all out so it doesn't look so flat. And I am going to carve that all out. I do use my Tarte Shape Tape concealer to carve that out. And I just use my regular brush. It's just kind of like a dome-shaped brush that's flat. Here you can see I'm starting to darken it a little bit more. I wanted it to go better with my like really bright red wig. I'm now priming my lids with that same Tarte Shape Tape concealer just all over the lids. It's just going to create a nice base for the shadows that we go on top of it with. And I'm using a Morphe E59 brush and the NYX HD Translucent Finishing Powder to set that all into place. Next, I'm using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette and the Silk Cream to buff that all over the lid, above the lid, into the crease. And I'm using the Morphe M441 to brush that transition shade in. I'm also using the M.F.E.O shade and the Morphe M433 to really make it nice and deep on the outer corners and the inner corners as well. I'm then using the Cozzette S185 brush and that Abyss shade from the palette and darkening the crease and the outer and inner corners, kind of creating a halo-eyed look that's going to be nice and sultry and deep, smoky. I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner also, and this is really going to intensify the darkness of the eye look. And I am going to set that with that Abyss shade over top and blend all of that in so it's nice and transitioned and there's no harsh lines. Then I'm using the NYX Epic Ink Liner. It's just a really nice felt tip liner that gives me a really precise, perfect wing. So I'm just winging it out and then using the House of Lashes Iconic Lights that are just perfect for this look. They're wispy but also dramatic at the same time. Using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to conceal and highlight under my eyes, and also using that same Mehron face paint to highlight under there just to make sure it's nice and light, because that lightest Tarte Shape Tape Concealer was not quite light enough for me at this point in time. So I'm just blending all that out, and then I did set that as well with the NYX HD Finishing Powder again. Everything I do to the top lid, I'm going to do to the bottom, so I'm using those same shades, darkening it out, smoking it on the outer corner, and then I do use the Slide On Glide On NYX Epic Ink Pencil to really deepen up the waterline on the top and bottom lash line. Looks a little creepy when I do this, I know. The Shade and Light palette, the contour palette's what I'm using from Kat Von D, and just a regular big fluffy fan brush to really carve out those cheeks. I really wanted to kind of hollow out myself a little bit, so I brought the contour up to the front of, like kind of by my mouth even, and kind of at a slant, so it really just kind of chiseled and made me look a little bit more emaciated. This clown has not seen the light of day in a while, so I am going to take one of those light shades from the Kat Von D palette and just kind of highlight under the contour as well. Here I'm using the Damned liquid lipstick from Kat Von D, and I'm outlining my lips. I also go over on the inside and take that Kitten Heels NYX Liquid Suede lipstick to kind of have like an ombre to the lips and make it look like the inside of my mouth is a little bit bloody, if that makes sense. And then I do take a lip pencil brush and just kind of extend my lips on the outer corners a little bit just to get that nice clown effect. Here I'm using that Hunts and Jacz shade from the palette and a Sigma E59 brush just to carve out the upside down triangles, and I am kind of creating a little bit of a smoky red line underneath the lash line also to kind of tie with it. Here I'm just using a tiny oval shaped flat brush and drawing out that line, and then I kind of blend it out more, make it a little bit smoky using the Morphe M433 brush. And I do use that same brush, that small pencil brush, just to draw in a black upside down triangle inside of that one. Here I'm using that same eyebrow brush that I used for my brows. It still have some of the kitten heels on it, and I'm just intensifying that line and blending it out. And I just wanted this to look like it was really like kind of popping out and look a little bit smoky as well. I felt like it really tied the look together. Here I'm doing a upwards triangle, same thing with doing a darker black triangle inside of that. And I'm kind of blending all of that upwards just so it kind of smokes out on the forehead a little bit. And I'm going to define that a little bit more with that same Kitten Heels liquid lipstick as well. Just kind of made it pop out a little bit more. And then I'm creating a button nose. Basically, I'm just using that dammed liquid lipstick on the outside and then the Kitten Heels on the inside, and that is the finished look.